Hi everyone, this is Abhinav from PhoneBunch, and today we are taking a look at the cameras of the Moto G3. It comes with a 13 megapixel rear camera, noise cancellation is also available over here, and you have a 5 megapixel front facing camera over here. We are also going to compare it with the Samsung Galaxy J5 in all lighting conditions. And again, you can just double twist your wrist to open up the camera app really quickly. Now let's have a look at the interface. So you have this focus ring which you can move around and tap to take images. You can tap anywhere on the display to click an image, not just on the focus ring. You can also now control exposure manually. You just have to move the ring around, and the shutter speed is actually pretty good. You really don't even know when an HDR image is captured. It really doesn't take any time. You have a special night mode which doesn't really work that well. You can record 1080p videos, but that's just it. You can't record at a lower resolution. Widescreen photos can also be captured or in 4:3 aspect ratio. You can tag your location, and that's just about it. It's a very basic camera interface. It gets the job done, but it's not that feature rich. However, you can take burst shots. Now these are some of the samples that I've taken indoors right now, and there's a lot of detail over here. You can see these two, and color accuracy is pretty good on this camera. Yes, it is a little warm at times, but most of the time you get good images which are sharp and have good color reproduction. Now the 5 megapixel front facing camera is actually pretty good. It's better than the Galaxy J5 in terms of color reproduction, sharpness, as well as overall quality. Now here are some of the image samples taken with the camera in ambient light, and you can see that color reproduction seems pretty good over here. Even in ambient light, exposure control is pretty good on the Moto G3. Whites do look good. Now these are 100% crop images. You can see a lot of detail over here with very little noise. You can see here too. But yes, sometimes this camera does have a little bit of issue when focusing on macro objects. You can see that it's a bit out of focus. But given a little bit of distance, it works out very well. Even distant shots do turn out quite well with good color reproduction. These are not undersaturated, but the greens are generally a bit overpronounced, and this is a very warm image. That's not the real tone. And you can see distant images with HDR mode work out very well over here. HDR mode really works great on the Moto G3. And then there's a manual control over exposure, which can give you a very good looking image as you see on the right. Now you can see a lot of details are captured by this camera. Even landscape shots, very distant shots do turn out quite well. Now this is indoors. Now on the left you have close shot, on the right a bit farther off, and even in indoors you can see there is not much noise. Now where this camera fails is low light imaging. You can see a lot of noise in this image. The flash definitely helps over here. It is quite bright. It sometimes overexposes images too, but generally low light images have quite a lot of noise in them. You can see these two, but color reproduction still remains alright. Flash is also effective over larger distances. So low light imaging is definitely not a forte for the Moto G3. Now here's a video sample taken with the Moto G3 1080p at 30 fps. Now the video quality actually seems pretty good. The color accuracy is good over here as well. Slightly warmer colors though. I don't see any major artifacting in the video. Have a listen to the audio as well. This is Abhinav from PhoneBunch, and right now we are recording a video sample with the Moto G3. We are recording in 1080p. It seems continuous. You do have continuous autofocus available over here. Video quality both from the front camera as well as the rear camera is actually pretty decent. Now if we compare the camera interfaces of the Moto G as well as the Samsung Galaxy J5, the J5 has a far more feature-rich camera interface. On the Moto G3 is just simply point and shoot, tap and shoot rather. But on the Samsung Galaxy J5 you have a Pro mode where you can control ISO, exposure, white balance. You can set up metering modes as well. There are some effects built in too, so you can apply filters directly to the viewfinder. So lots of stuff going on there. You can change picture resolutions, video resolutions as well, which are actually pretty basic and should have been available on the Moto G2. Now let's have a look at some of the camera samples. On the left you have Moto G, on the right the Samsung Galaxy J5, and the J5 has actually a better color reproduction there. But as I started comparing both of these devices, I saw that the J5 actually underexposes images quite a bit. You can see all of these images. On the right the images are far darker, and the lack of an HDR mode is another shortcoming here. And that's very strange given the f1.9 aperture lens on the Samsung Galaxy J5, which should actually allow more light to get into the camera. But if you throw in a white subject, the camera really shines. You can see much brighter image captured when you have a white subject. The colors definitely seem a bit richer on the Samsung Galaxy J5, which is on the right. You can see that here too on the greens, but they are slightly underexposed. You get that great bokeh effect here, but underexposure is something that I've seen with most images. Again, color accuracy is a bit better with the Samsung Galaxy J5. The Moto G3 actually shows a bit warmer colors in photos. Now if we talk about indoor lighting, the Samsung Galaxy J5 again takes slightly better photos with bit less noise. And if we come to low light imaging, again you can see that the Samsung Galaxy J5 is a bit better. The flash on the J5 again works a bit better, it is more controlled. Noise levels are far less than what we got with the Moto G3. And again that's to the f1.9 aperture. Focusing in low light is not good on either of these phones. They both take a long time to focus in, and generally you have to use the flash. Now let's compare the video samples. So both have continuous autofocus. The color reproduction is better on the Moto G3 and it handles exposure better again, just like it does on photos. Focusing is a bit faster on the Moto G3 as well. So well folks, that was our camera review of the Moto G3 and its comparison with the Samsung Galaxy J5. What I found was that in outdoor lighting, the Moto G3 performs better. Under low lighting, the J5 has a slight edge. In terms of overall color reproduction, the J5 has a slight edge again. But overall, I still like the Moto G3's camera a bit better. We'll be back with the full review of the Moto G soon. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to get those videos and hit that like button if you like this video as well. Thanks for watching. Any questions, let us in the comment section, and as always, have a great day.